Welcome back to The Pursuit of Accuracy. I'm Josh, and today we're here to talk about two of the heavy hitters in budget-oriented 22 long rifle performers. And those are the Bergara B14R and the CZ457. So if you're looking at buying either one of these two and you can't quite make up your mind, you've come to the right place. So let's get right into it and help you try and figure that out. So here on the bench today, we have two of my top choices for budget or entry-level 22 long rifles that you may want to take to a competition. So as most of you know, the CZ457 is no stranger to this channel. I absolutely love this platform, but that doesn't mean that I ignore everything else in the market, because I think there are some excellent choices, and one of those is the B14R 22 long rifle trainer. Now, as far as a trainer rifle goes, and what I mean by trainer rifle is that it is patterned after the Remington 700 action. So for a trainer, this is one of the most budget-friendly options out there, but there are some major differences in these rifles. They are pretty similarly priced. So first of all, I'm not going to point out the differences between the stock options and the triggers and things like that, because to basically sum it up, the B14R comes in its factory stock and it's a good stock for the money. And the 457 comes in a variety of different stocks, but for today you can notice I have both of them in an MDT ACC chassis, and both of these have Timney triggers. Now, the Bergara B14 has the Timney hit trigger, which is a stupid good trigger for the money, and I absolutely love it. But I also absolutely love the CZ457 Timney trigger. So as far as that goes, you can get aftermarket triggers for both of these. They're both excellent. And you can put both of these into a chassis or into a stock of your choice, and they basically both have the same amount of riding. Now, I will point out edge to the B14R here because it is a 700 Remington action clone. So there are more trigger options, there are more chassis options and things like that. So with that out of the way, what I really want to talk about is the action. Overall, the most important thing, which I think people don't get across in reviews, is the shooting experience. And that's the biggest thing, because no matter what you put these in, no matter what kind of chassis, stock, optic, trigger, the shooting experience is kind of unique to each one of these, because they have very unique kind of attributes of what makes the rifle what, and I think that's going to be the biggest deciding factor for you. So one of the most notable things right off the bat and the difference between the actions is going to be magazines. So with the Bergara B14R, you're getting the bigger AICS pattern magazine. So for those of you who are shooting big guns in competition, that's going to be more familiar, and if you have spare mag carriers, things like that, these are going to fit, and the Bergara is going to use those, and that's going to be a benefit. If you're not really shooting any other big guns, or you're just shooting 22 and you don't really care about the magazine size, then you're going to end up with a little itty bitty mag like this for the CZ. And people joke on these and people talk crap about these, but I found them to be extremely reliable, and I can load 4 or 5 of these and stick them in my pocket and kind of just walk around the match with these in my pocket. You're not going to be able to do that with the Bergara B14R mags, but that's just going to be kind of a personal choice. Both I found are extremely reliable and just easy to use, so just kind of user's choice on the mags. So as far as the action goes, we have the Bergara B14R here. You're going to notice that this is a 90-degree action, so this is going to replicate a big gun feel, more center fire feel, but it is a 90-degree throw. So like I said, if you are using a big gun and you haven't set up an MDT ACC, then this will be a good trainer option for you, because it has the more center fire action feel. The whole rifle just kind of feels more like a center fire rifle. Now on the other hand, with the CZ457, you're getting a much shorter throw, and it feels a lot more like a traditional 22. Now, the feel of this is not the only thing to consider. If you are not trained into using a 90-degree bolt throw and you don't really care much about it feeling like a big center fire gun, then this bolt throw is a lot softer and it's a lot shorter, so you can work this action a lot quicker. Now, I am going to send you to yesterday. I was shooting this in a falling steel bench rest match, and watch the video and you're going to see just how quickly I'm running through this falling steel. More notably, you're going to see how little the whole rifle moves as a system while I'm working this bolt. I'm able to basically transition the gun and work the bolt, and you're not going to see that disrupt enough. So let's take you out. We'll take you out to the 100-yard and the 150-yard, and you can check that out. The scope cam footage through this Tractoric at 100, 150 yards at a falling steel match.
Fire for record. Fire for record. Fire for record. Fire for record.
Oh. One died. Yep. Three, 4. That's it. Alright, so we're going to load up some Standard Plus now with a Bergara. You can see in that video just how smooth the CZ ran, and I have a ton of rounds through that. This has quite a few rounds through it as well, but one thing you're going to notice is the bolt throw on this is going to disrupt that reticle a lot more shot to shot, and there are some tricks out there on how to smooth that out. I don't own this rifle, so I'm not going to attempt to modify this in any kind of way. And for some people that may not bother you, but it is something to take note of. But what we're going to do is we're going to shoot a couple real quick on paper, and I'm just going to get us kind of dialed in at 100, and then we're going to run down the KYL rack and just see how that looks as far as if you were going to be shooting this off your bench. All right, so we are a tenth left. See if we can get that dialed in. All right, so I think I've got it kind of close. Let's go to the KYL rack. Let's see how we do. I think that one dropped just a hair low. Yeah, might have been a little low. There we go. So it's a noticeable difference while you're shooting this, feeling that bolt close. And like I said, there are ways around that. And some people seem to get a little lighter of a bolt throw when they get theirs from the factory. But for me, from the ones I've shot, compared to the CZ, the bolt throw is a little harder. There are a lot of pluses and positives to this rifle over a CZ though. There's a ton more accessories out on the market because this is a 700 action. Now, the one place where it's lacking is I think IBI International Barrels out of Canada are the only ones making a pre-fit barrel for this. So if you end up wanting to upgrade your barrel, which most people don't because Bergaras are known to make really good barrels, but if you wanted to, IBI is I think the only place you can get a barrel for this. So the CZ, you have Bartlett, you have Lilja, Lothar Walther, just a ton of aftermarket barrel. You have a ton of aftermarket barrel companies making CZ barrels. So let's stretch this out a little further and let's go out. You know what? Let's go out to 180 and let's just see how the Standard Plus does out there at distance. All right, hopefully you guys can see that. We're gonna guess here. I'm gonna go around 6 mils and see if we can get on the lollipop there. All right, just high, so 6 mils was a pretty good guess. A little wind change. All right, same spot as the last. All right, yeah, so it looks like we just had one high, but now we're kind of grouping in there. Yeah, so we're right. All right. Let's make that windage correction. See if we can put one right down the middle before we try for that egg. Nope. All right, now we're looking better. All right, let's see if we can get this little egg. It's a tough target. Ooh, just off right of him. There we go. All right, let's load up a few more and we'll see if we can figure out the wind and hold that egg down there with this Bergara B14R. Overall, it's a very solid gun, really accurate gun, and so we're running standard plus here. It's not the most expensive ammo. All right, see what we can do here. Oh, got him again, same spot. Just missed outside of him. Same miss. There we go. Meet there, having to hold a little more wind now. Got him again. And I think that's it. Yep. So we've tried to make this as fair as we can and make this as apples to apples comparison, but obviously there's always going to be differences when you're trying to do this. And like I said, I'm not trying to illustrate or highlight the differences between accuracies between the two rifles, because I believe both are very accurate rifles. And that's why we didn't shoot 50-yard groups and things like that, because what I really wanted to talk about was the shooting feel of these rifles. So I think at the end of the day, if you have a centerfire gun and you want a trainer, then a true trainer, you need a B14R or something like that. It's going to give you that 90-degree bolt throw. It's an extremely reliable platform, and I've had nothing but good luck out of these. And if you don't really care about that part of it, then the CZ457 with a shorter, lighter bolt throw may be a better option for you, because as you can see through the video, it's going to kind of disrupt the gun less as you're working it. Now, like I said, there are people out there with lighter bolt throws in this. I'm sure there are people out there with heavier bolt throws than what you've seen on this rifle, but I've had 2 or 3 of these on the channel, and going from the 457 to the B14R, the most noticeable difference is the bolt throw. Now, again, there are some very nice things to like about this as far as being able to get into a giant world of accessories for 700 Remington Action clones and being able to use all those things. Like the Timney Hit, it's an amazing trigger where you're kind of shoehorned into proprietary stuff, whereas Timney only makes 1 trigger for the 457. There's like another 1 or 2 hanging around. You can get it into all the popular chassis and stocks, but you are more limited than you would be on the B14R. And if you're going to buy the factory rifle complete, it's like $1,000. CZs, obviously, you can get anywhere from $500-600 up to $1,200-1,300 depending on your configuration. So all things to consider, but like I said, if you're looking for a true trainer, then I think the B14R is the way to go. If you're just looking for something to go and compete with, then I really like the CZ457 if you don't have to kind of mimic your other big gun action. Hopefully this was helpful. In the near future, we're going to be bringing a 700 action rimfire on the channel to stay. I'm not quite sure what that's going to be yet. Maybe a B14R, maybe a Rimex, and maybe a Voodoo, but we're going to have something on the channel full time so that we can do more of these kind of CZ versus this and what you gain and what you benefit. So I can tell you, when you start spending more money in the 700 action world as far as rimfires are concerned, and I'm talking Rim-X and Voodoo, what you're going to see is kind of the same feel, but you're going to get a much nicer bolt throw. So that money you're spending is all in the action. You're going to get a very slick bolt throw and a very confident feeling platform, but it is a lot of money, and I understand that. Quick shout out to the guys over at Project 13, and I know that sounded funny the way I said it. I will link their Facebook and their website down in the video below, but we got these cases from them. They're super awesome guys. Every now and again when I stumble across people at the range, I'll kind of try and hook them up and give one of these away. I've given some away on Patreon, but really awesome cases for storing your ammo, and you can kind of get them customized all out. Me and my daughter both use one, and they're excellent for just storing ammo and taking it with you to the match. We weren't given these for free to represent these on the channel. I just like them so much that after buying a couple, I started buying them for Patreon giveaways and for random people when I see them at the range, because they're just that nice. Just a little creature comfort to keep your ammo nice and secure and maybe warm if you're shooting out there in the cold. But I appreciate you guys. Hopefully this was helpful. We'll catch you on the next one.